All right, we're live. ETM Hotep, want to welcome all of the viewers, all millions and millions of you. Now, welcome to our Friday freestyle session. All right, we call it Freestyle Fridays, and we call it that Freestyle Fridays because we take this time out to have fun. Do some fun exercises and to test our memory and our ability to recall the identification of different Seshew Netcher glyphs along with the meanings of different words. All right, so it's basically having fun to sharpen our swords, and for everyone to participate and take some time to test their skills. All right, and also we look forward to any participation from anyone that's watching, watching live in the chat, the YouTube chat. The YouTube chat is open, so if you want to participate, just chime on in. We'll keep our eyes on the chat, and then later, if there's room inside the Hangout itself, we don't mind bringing you in the Hangout if you have any comments or questions about whatever we cover. All right. So again, I want to welcome everyone. We say ETM Hotep, welcome in peace. And before we get started, as we've done for the past few weeks now, we've adopted. We start off our sessions with a offering formula. It's normally called the Hotep Dinasut formula, and it's called a formula because it's so regular, so consistent in Kemet. You'll find it everywhere in tombs, on different stelae, and so on and so forth for the deceased. And this is something that Dr. Raketi Amin incorporates in her gatherings, and I thought of it as an excellent idea. So we've adopted it and have been doing the same for the past few weeks. All right, so this will be no different. I'm going to share screen. All right, hopefully everyone can see that, and even on YouTube. And by the way, if you're watching live, if you go to your and you're watching the video live, if you go to the cogwheel on the video and set the quality to 480 or better, then you'll be able to see the whatever we share a lot more clear. All right. So this is the Hotep Dinasut, aka offering formula. All right, and what you see at the top is the Seshew Netcher, which are hieroglyphs, and then below that you'll see the diacritical or the diacritic transliteration of it. All right, and by diacritic there's two different systems. There's a diacritic and there's a manual decodage, two main systems. All right, there's a couple of other systems that are used, but these are the two main systems. And what you're looking at is the diacritic system, where you see the diacritic marks around the different letters. And then below that you have a translation. All right, so I'll just read it, and the pronunciations that I'm using, they're the standardized classroom pronunciations, or what we refer to as Egyptology speak. And it's just a way of us being able to pronounce and discuss the language, and it's not meant to be historically accurate, although there's a huge project underway as we speak that's designed to recover the historical or ancient pronunciations, and that's a huge project. All right, it involves a lot of science, a lot of methods within linguistics. The historical comparative method is being used for that, but that's something to be discussed in the future. All right, so the offering formula goes as Hotep Dinasu Wasir Neb Jedu Netcher Neb Abju Df Paret Cheru Tihinket Ka Aped Shes Minchet Ket Nebet Neferet Wabet Anket Netcherim Inkain Imaku, and then you see a blank, and then Makeru. Now those question marks would stand for a person's name that you would use, or people's names. You can repeat that for different people. All right, and I will read the translation. It says, an offering in which the king gives, Usir or Osiris, Lord of Jedu, great God, Lord of Abydos, so that he may give verbal offerings in bread, beer, ox, fowl, alabaster, and linen, everything good and pure on which a God lives, for the Ka of the revered one, blank, who is justified. All right. And in this particular one, in the glyphs, when you look at the top, you'll see a name filled in. And that name that you see filled in is Sabi. Because at the first time that we shared this, we made mention of Dr. Sabi's recent transition and passing. So you'll see that name there on the bottom line, um, where it says Sabi, Imaku Sabi Makeru. All right. So just wanted to share that, and like I said, you can fill in the blank with the names, the appropriate names that you wish. But for now, we will say Inka Ani Maku Aku Makeru, and Aku would be plural for ancestors, just a general word for ancestors. All right. Okay. So now to move on. So tonight we're going to do what we did last week. We're going to have a little fun naming the different Netcherew. So I have a couple of pictures, and these pictures have the different figures in them. So our job and your job, for those who are participating, is to identify who we are looking at. All right, so give me a second to share my screen. Oh, before I do that, excuse my manners. My name is Wujau, and we have members of the Seshew mdw-ntr on the panel. So if you all can unmute yourself, just introduce yourself real quick, and I know Kofi can go last, but introduce yourself. Let everyone know who we have in the building.
ETM Hotel, welcome everybody. This is Damien Everly. Welcome in peace.
Otep, it's your brother Satep and Rob Mariaman in the building. We see the haters watching.
Hotep, this is Tonika, and welcome.
All right, so
No, Kofi has to go.
ETM Hotel, Dua Ooh, Hekanu In, I'm in Ra Patah, Kwa E Second. I go by Sin Kofi Paisai. And we just want to thank you all for tuning in and watching every Wednesday and Thursday. We just want to welcome you all.
See how Kofi changed that to Thursday. But yeah, it goes with a bang.
Did I say Thursday? Wednesday and Friday.
That's all right. Could be Thursday in a different area, but yeah.
all right, so okay, now we have that pass. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. And let's see, I hope now on a few of these pictures I'm going to have to zoom in, and this one being the case, definitely I'm going to have to zoom in on particular glyphs. Okay, so at the top, can you all see the picture? I just want to make sure. Can you all see the picture?
To you.
Okay, and hopefully my cursor as well. So at the top of this particular papyrus, we have a row of Netcherew. All right, and you see the glyphs. Now I know I'm going to zoom in on them, but you see the glyphs near each one. Okay, so by the way that they're facing, first, let me see. And I can't see the screen, the comments, but we'll start it off. You know, I'm not sure who all is watching right now, who will participate, but we can start this off for this particular picture. So I'm going to zoom in. Now, obviously, now the first thing that you do when you do transliterations and translations, first thing you do, first step is to identify the direction in which the signs are to be read. So for this one, I'll let everyone know that the signs are facing to the right, and you're going to read into them from right to left. All right. So we're going to start with the rightmost figure here, seated figure, and then work our way to the left. So let me zoom in. Now, as we did last Friday, well, actually, what made us do it last Friday was to emphasize identification of these different figures that we see in various different scenes, and all the pictures that people have and see inside of tombs, in the temples, and wherever. Um, and there's a way that you can identify it. And then one thing that we covered last week as well is that some of the figures, or some of the different Netcherew, they get confused with each other. And one of the main three, I believe three, that are confused the most is Nephthys or Nebet-Hut, Osset, and Hathor or Het-Heru. Those three are confused the most because those three will share the headdress of the solar crown with the horns. All right, and it can be confusing because if you think that each of the various different Netcherew have a unique headdress, then you would think that when you see the solar disk and the horns that it was always Hathor or Het-Heru, and that's not the case. So one of the things that we use to identify it is the ability to actually read the Seshew Netcher, and usually, not all the time, but usually you'll see a formula next to the various different figures, and that formula would be the Jed Medu formula, or Jed Medu N, which means words spoken by, and then it would give the name, or it would just say Jed Medu, and then it would quote whatever said, and then after that you'll see the name. So in either case, those are ways that we can identify different figures. Okay, so we went over that last week, and this week we're just going to jump right into it. So on this first figure, so I'll start it off. On this first figure here, we see, is this zoomed in enough? Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so in this first figure here, well, if you look at the figure, it's a falcon-headed figure with the sun disk. All right, he's holding a wasp scepter, and he's enthroned or on the throne. All right, and we can see, and I hope you all can see that. Can you all see that in the on the panel?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and I hope it's clear enough on the channel, YouTube channel. All right, so here, and I'm just gonna start. I'll read the first two. Here we see this glyph. This is one glyph. You have two here, third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, seventh, and eighth, um, and ninth. So here is the name Ra Har Aketi. So we have Ra, or the falcon with the sun disk on the head, which represents Ra and Har. So Ra Har or Ra Heru. And then we have two strips of land here for Aketi. And then we have Netcher A, and then Her Tep, and then you see a solar boat, and then the you probably can't make this out, but this would be the horn viper in his boat. Okay, so this is Rahar Aketi. So this figure here will be Rahar Aketi, and then the next one we see raised bread loaf and the sled and what they call a half, and it's for the Netcher Atim. But here we see Atimu, but most people know as Atum or Atim. So we have Rahar Aketi, and then we have Atim. All right, and I will pass the mic over to anyone else on the panel, and I'll follow with my cursor. So we'll knock this one out, and then we'll see if anybody wants to participate for the other pictures. So let's go to this next figure here. Anybody want to chime in for the next one?
it's kind of hard to. Well, it's kind of hard for me to see it. I mean, only thing I can see on there is the feather, the quail chick. I don't know what's that in the middle, and I don't know what's that behind the quail chick. I know I see the sun disk behind it, but top above it, I don't know what that is. Is that a bread loaf?
No.
So I don't. It's hard for me to make that out. So I'll pass on this.
All right. You can use context clues. You look at the figure.
Yeah, I looked at the figure and I looked at the feather on the top.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, okay, shoot, is that shoe?
Yes, to you. That's correct.
Okay.
The
Well,
feather
see,
itself.
okay, yeah, that's right. See, I was gonna say that at first, but I don't know what I was thinking about. I was looking at the quail chick, but I was like, nah, that ain't gonna be shoe because the quail chick was right there. But I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, shoe.
Right. Shoe. And this part that we can identify would be this coil spiral for shoe. Or I can't zoom in to make it clear, but the shoe, the W is a complement to shoe, the feather itself. So we have the feather, the quill chick, and shoe with the sun disk. All right, next.
That's
I'll take a
definitely
stab at this.
Tefnut. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I'll just do the next one. It's good.
Okay. That says Tefnut.
Okay, yep, to you. Exactly. All right. So we have the raised bread loaf. We have the horn viper for Tef, and then we have the new, what we call a new bowl or bowl for Newt, and then T, Tef Newt, and then a serpent, and she is mistress of the sky, Nebet Pet. So Tefnut, mistress of the sky. All right. And next, so Tep, you say you were gonna do this one.
Yeah, okay. So that one will be that's Gab. I
Okay.
believe.
Mm-hmm. All right. So okay, go ahead. You were gonna say
Got
it?
the yes. I'm a little rusty. It's been a minute, but I know that's one of the ducks right there.
Mhm.
So that's one of the bird figures, and I know that's the little walking leg behind it, and then you have the symbol of divinity behind it. So I would just say that's Gab right there.
Yep. Okay. Correct. And next.
I could do that one too, I guess. I mean, that's
Okay, go for it.
the new bowl again. I would say that's Newt,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have Neb Pet.
Yep.
Okay, so Mistress of the Sky.
Mm-hmm. So if you notice, I'm gonna go back for a second. So we starting off with Rahara Keti, and then we have Atum, and then we have Shu and Tefnut. Then we have Geb and Newt. So you can probably pretty much use context clues now for the rest of them. But let's go on. So who has this?
I'll attack that one. I mean, that's um a set and uh hit Haru.
On here?
Mm-hmm. Nib hit.
Right. So it's all set and who?
Nib hit. I said hit Haru, excuse me, but Nib hit. I know that's Nib hit because of the basket on top and the house is on the bottom and the bread loaf that's give me Nib hit. I know this is a set over here because of the egg, the tea, the throne, and the bread loaf.
Okay, excellent. So we have Osset and Nebet Hoot. So we have the two sisters. All right. And going to the next. What about this figure here? And some it's kind of easy to miss that there's two people here. There's two figures here because they're side by side. But so that's good.
I knew it was two because of I seen the two. I seen the throne, and then I seen the basket in the house on top of the other head. So that what made me know it was two, and that made me know exactly who they were too by just the two things on top of the head.
All right. So who has the next one?
I could do that one if you want me to. That's Haru Neta'a,
Uh,
Haru, the great divinity.
yep. All right. So we have Heru, and next, this figure here.
Well, I'll do it. I mean, Het Haru.
Yeah. All right. Since you mentioned it over here, so we have Het Heru.
Het Haru Neb. I can't make out the last thing at the bottom, but I know that's Het Haru Nebet.
That's
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 West. Ain't that Emiet? Het Haru, Mistress of the West.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
yep.
All right. All right. So last, what's the last one?
I'll let somebody else do that one. I can't even make that one out.
Hold up, but let me pause for a second. Let me just check the chat. So this.
I know that first one is who.
Okay. Well,
Who
all
that?
right.
All right.
You got the first one. All
Now
right.
that last one, I think that might be shit. Who and Kofi, you should know this. You know the what they call that? The creation story with all the names in it.
All right. Let
Who
me
that?
give you a hint. Let me give you a hint. In the solar bark, Ra is mostly accompanied by a few deities, a few Netcherew, and both of these, are usually found in his solar bark with him.
Right next to him.
Um,
Man, I don't want to break open this am do I ain't gonna do it.
it's Freestyle Friday.
I know, I want to bad.
But see, I'm trying to make out the sign. You know, the first one, like you said, that's huge because you see the rope.
Okay.
You see the quail chick, so we know that's huge, and we see the seated divinity at the bottom, and then at the next one, you see the seated deity, but I can't make out exactly what that sign is on top of it. I don't know what that is on top. I mean, it looked like uh thing with the fringes on there, but I know that's not it. I know that's not I don't know what that is, man. And I know when you talk about
Maybe
delivery,
Damo can help us out. What you think, Damo?
Mm. I don't know.
All right, let's go to the chat. First, I'm gonna say ETM Hotep. Because when I first look at the chat, it's empty when we first get started, obviously. But now I see people chiming in. So Hotep to Brother Sean, Jehudi, Ma'at, Shezmu, Patah, Amun, Sonnet or Sister Monica. And let's see, scroll up, do a little roll call real quick.
You who hit Q. Damn.
Okay, and we have Lisa. All right,
Okay. No.
very top. All right, so Shezmu, if you could hear me, 'cause I know Shezmu was on a roll last Friday. Shezmu was calling them off. Patah, Atum, Kepler. But all right. Well, to keep it moving, well, I'm gonna give somebody a chance. So anybody recognize? No. All right. Well, it is. I gave a hint. Okay, remember that
What was
Ra.
the hint? What was the hint you said?
I said that Ra is almost well. Ra is frequently accompanied by um, these deities, these
Sia,
Netcherew.
Sia. Is it
Exactly.
Sia?
Yeah,
There it go. Yeah, because I had to think. I'm like, hold on. Yep, Hugh and Sia. Yep.
right. So you have Hu, which you have the twisted flax, the quail chick, and then you have the tooth, and it's Hu, and then we have Sia here with the seated seated divinity for both of them. So we have Hu and Sia. So if you look at it, it's basically the various Netcherew of what's being called the Ennead, with the exception of Hu and Sia. But you can see how it coincides with it. So you have Ra
I
here.
got a question too when you get done explaining this.
Okay, no problem. We have Ra as Rahar Aketi, Atum, and then part of the Ennead, I would say. So we
Mhm.
have Shu, Tefnut, Geb, Nut, Osset, Nebethut, Heru, Het Heru, and then we have Hu and Sia. So that's who we're dealing with. And then I believe down here, let's see. Um, just for the sake of, let's see if we can identify. I mean, this is like a no-brainer here. I think everybody will be able to get this, figure out who this is. Um, yeah. So
Yeah, that's Shahudi.
yes. Um, this figure here, yeah, Jehudi. A lot of most people will definitely um figure it out just based on looks because he's pretty unique with the ibis head. So people usually don't have any problem identifying him or confusing him with anybody else. And you can see his name right here, Jed Medu N Jehuti. All right, so you see the Jehuti. His name is right here, Jehuti.
Mhm.
All right. Now, let's see if can anyone identify this figure.
Which one?
I'm not sure if you can see my cursor, but this one here, I'm circling with my cursor.
Oh, okay.
The one that's next to the scale with the heart in it. This figure, or well, identify these glyphs. The name is right here.
I see. Is that the clump papyrus on top?
To you, yes.
Okay, so I know that one. That bird, I'm not sure about the bird. So I'm not sure about the bird, but I know the two at the bottom is reed leaves, double reed leaves. In 17.
Okay, so if you know the first one and the double reliefs, then you can pretty much use context and have a close to pronunciation for it or transliteration for
No, I just
it.
I, I just know it's the I can't remember. I know it's like I said, the clump of papyrus, but I can't even remember what was the uh was it a biliteral or was it a triliteral? So I can't even tell you exactly what what those constants
I
are.
think it's a triliteral. Yeah.
So but what's the constant? See, I can't remember the constant.
I'm not sure, but I think is it Shah?
To you, Shai.
Okay.
This will be the vulture, so it'll be Shai. So we have destiny or fortune. All right, and over here it's kind of bad. I'll just identify this one as Renan Nunet. People may know it's Renan Nunet. Then we have Mescanet and Renan Nunet, both of them here. And for those who may not know, Shai and Renan Nunet, has the word Ren in there, and Ren and Nunet, these are so-called birth goddesses, and they are the ones that are the principles behind governing the giving of names. And it's the attachment of your name, your Ren, that's attached to your destiny. So the word Shai means destiny or fortune. So we have the birth goddesses, um, and then the principle of assigning a name and attaching it to your destiny. So this supports the African, uh, I guess the African tradition
Mm.
of naming people based on what they come into the world to do, or what we would call today your destiny. You know, what did you come in the world to do? What are you destined to do? And whatever that destiny is, your name, or at least one of your names, out of the few names that people receive, should reflect your destiny.
And doesn't your Ren gives you form? Doesn't it give you form, give you existence? You not, didn't they look at it as you, something didn't exist unless it had a name, unless it had a Ren, and the name give it form.
Yes and no. It doesn't give it form, but it gives it identity. So, you know, you can't be identified unless, because the word Ren, we say it means name, but it's the synonymous with identity. It's to identify something as opposed to something else. So if you don't have an identity, you're just a blur.
They say you don't exist unless you have a name. And then I think they go into with the Ren, they go into the different layers of the name. You might have multiplicities of name. I think you just said that, like if we, like I'm looking at my entertainment system in my bedroom, and and that's what I mean by form, because it was saying with the Ren, it gives form, with the name. So like the name, like the form is a square. We call that form, how it's made, a square. And then you look at then, then you look at the color. The color is brown. That's a name. Then you look at what it is. It's a entertainment system. That's a name.
Yeah. Well, the purpose of the name, one of the names that is tradition in Africa in several different communities is
I'm sorry about that too. I know I had a bunch of noise in the background. That's why I muted my mic.
oh, no problem. Um, the Ren is one of your Rens. You have Renu, you have multiple names, but one of your names should reflect your destiny. And in many African cultures, communities, in order for them to ascertain your destiny, they will perform what we call today divination. So different communities have different divination methods. Like some communities use cowrie shells and different other tools. So and then other communities may use another set of tools. But a divination process or ritual is done by someone competent enough to do that, and then a child, a newborn's destiny is determined, and then one of the names that the child is given usually reflects that. And then, like for example, in Ghana in the Akan culture, they also give a name based on the snapshot of the time of birth, where they give you a name based on your day, the day that you were born. So depending on what day of the week that you're born, you also receive either a feminine or masculine form of that particular name. But these
Yes.
are all different African customs. But I don't want to go too far off on a tangent. So I just wanted to say that's what we're dealing with here in this judgment scene, where you have the person's Ren and Nunet, and the Shai, which is the destiny, that are testifying or making it being available at this particular judgment scene. All right, and then this figure here, a lot of people should have no problem identifying who this is. And these glyphs here are they're too small to actually read. Um, but we know that this is Enpu. All right, and the name is here, but it's very hard. It's hard to read. So I'll be fair with that one. All right, so let's go on to the next one. Is that everybody on here?
Yeah, real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna
Go
go
ahead. We
ahead
keep
first.
bumping heads.
No, I was just gonna go and say because I think I said triliteral on the lotus or whatever pool of lotus, but it is a biliteral. I get confused sometimes, but yeah, biliteral. Just to correct myself so somebody doesn't go with the wrong information.
Okay, yeah,
Right.
good. Shai, yep. So Teb, you said you had a comment question?
Yeah. Can you go back up to the first deities that we was talking about?
Oh, okay.
Now, yeah, we'll go back over a little bit. Well, right there. Now, you see how the females, they all got that little snake figure up under there. Does that mean something?
Well,
Like
that
all the female deities, they got that little snake determinative.
yeah. In some instances, you'll see the snake determinative for the feminine, um, Netcheret or Netcherut, which is feminine Netcherew. You'll see that serpent. You'll see that serpent there, and it kind of connects to the concept of the masculine being the frogs and the feminine being the snakes. So, like for example, in the Ogdod or the what they call in the Ogdod or the Kimnu, the eight, you'll
Mm.
see four frog-headed and then four
Nate.
serpent-headed for who had kekek, uh, I'm a net, new net.
Hey. I mean, yeah. Cool. Who hit. New hit. Q hit. I'm in that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, isn't that one down there, Renanette? Ain't that ain't she like ain't her or isn't her animal thing a snake?
Yeah.
Her headdress would be a snake. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Does that tie into that, like you said, rebirth and stuff like that?
Well, with her, yes, because she is a Netcheret of birth. She's present at birth, and she's also a nursing Netcheret.
Now,
So,
do you think that could tie in with all the women having that snake up under there too, because they all can produce kids and stuff like that? I'm just asking. I don't know. I'm just asking. It's kind because I was gonna ask you that question before we even looked down at the bottom deities. I wasn't even paying attention to that.
oh,
And
right.
then I seen that, and I'm like, man, that kind of ties together with all the females having that snake, and they can all produce kids.
Well, I mean, there's I guess speculation, or you'll find some people that talk about it how the snake is associated with the feminine or females because of the menstrual and the shedding of a monthly cycle and the ability to rejuvenate or even give birth. So that's people will um, discuss it like that. So that's all I can give. But in particular though, there's certain different there's different Netcheret that are associated with serpents, and then you have some that are associated by the determinatives. Okay, so like Renenunet is definitely associated with a serpent, and then like I said, those the feminine four of the Ogdod have serpent heads in some depictions. Now all these depictions are not uh, you know permanent in one way. They're variations. So this is why, like for example, Osset, you don't always see Osset with the serpent. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. With the serpent determinative, and Tefnut the same. Well, this is Nut, but it's Tefnut you see it here. Now Tefnut has the serpent determinative, but Tefnut is known as the lioness-headed goddess. So we have a lioness, and we deal with a snake or serpent, etc. So these are variations. All right, so I guess I could pull back out on here. Oh, we left one out over here. Anybody can identify?
Where you at?
Right here. Let me zoom back in then. Right here, right behind Jehudi. Let me see if anybody in the chat identify who's behind Jehudi. Oh, and I see it's a big delay between. It's a big delay from what we're saying from the YouTube. So this is gonna be
What
interesting.
you asking them what that is behind Jehuti or
Yeah. Who the same as we've been doing? Who is this Netcher behind Jehudi? Yep.
they ought to know that. That's well should we in the scene or we in the heart.
Actually, okay, brother Strife says, well, Sean says alligator, lizard head, alligator. Strife. So Beck, the Devourer, and Christopher Withers has a pep. Now, let me. Okay, I wanted to put the name in it. All right, so because we're dealing with this first picture so long, I want to move on to the other pictures. I'll just, uh, I'm gonna circle. If you can see my cursor, I'm just gonna circle where you see the name right here.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, it extends to the top as well. So let me. So it starts here, goes down here, and these last two signs. So that's a clue I give.
Uh, oh,
And
sorry. Go ahead. Are we supposed to guess it or out there?
okay, yeah, all right. Brother Withers has it. Amit, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, excellent. So we have AMMT in terms of transliteration. So we have Amit. All right, the Devourer. The Devourer is correct. The monster, the Devourer. All right, so good. Let's go to the next picture. Yeah, that picture had quite a bit in it. So, now we're on to this picture. And let's see if I could. Well, I'll leave it there. It's big enough. Should be big enough for everyone to see. I'm just waiting for. It's interesting. YouTube is a delay. All right, so I won't worry about that delay. Okay, so let's start from the right. This figure here, dressed in white with a white hat on. Got a necklace on. Got the X across the body.
X-Man belt buckle.
Right. Is this Professor X or who is this? So I just want to give people a chance in the chat, and I gotta flip back and forth. All right, let's see. Snake skin rebirth. Okay. All right, brother Sean, excellent. Wasir and brother Strife. So yeah, excellent. Wasir, and that's pretty easy because well, I can't say that that's unique. Well, it is in terms of his whole image, but there are some other mummified Netcherew, so he's not the only mummified one. All right, so this is mummified being that he's wrapped in white, and you see his arms coming out right here, so he's mummified, and you don't see his feet or anything either. All right, so but the name here is in this first column on the right. We see Wasir. All right, and now let's go over to this figure here in the middle, and that should be easy. I'm gonna flip back. That should be easy. All right, see, then we got this dead silence.
Yeah,
If
that's.
we were
Oh, you wanted one of those? I thought you wanted somebody on the chat to do it. Yeah,
No, no,
that's.
no, yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat, but I forget it's a delay. So when I say it, at the time I say it, and then when I look, the audio is still catching up. So and then for us it's like a dead silence. So I just had to keep that in mind. Keep on talking, keep on talking. So, but yeah, everybody's getting it right. Inpu, exactly. Inpu. Yep. Also known as Anubis or Anubis. All right, now how do we know that? We know that because in this column here, we see the name, the reed leaf, the water ripple, the stool reed mat, and the quail chick. So we have Npu, Netcher, Neb, Ta Jesser, which will be Anpu, the great god, lord of the holy land or the sacred land. All right, let's skip over here to the far left right here. And I guess somebody on the panel, we'll go ahead and do that one.
Is that the last one?
Yeah, the one on the left here. Yep.
Hetero?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Heteru. All right. So she has the solar crown, the horn solar crown. All right. And she's in living this figure here. All right. So now, Satep, because I know Satep is good with the names inside of Shinu. So I know you say you're rusty, but we're gonna put it on, put it on this time. So let's identify this one right here on next to Heteru, in this column.
All right. We have Nefer, Netcher. Let's see. Min, Keparura, Usir, Mary.
Yep. Mary will see it. So beloved of.
Yeah, Mary Usir. Sorry.
Yep. All right. Exactly. Good. Excellent. So we have Min Keparu Ra. All right. Excellent. And so we have, as you said, Nefer Netcher. And over here, now this is the same person. These two people, well, not two people, but these two figures are the same person. So let's identify.
Let's see what I got on this one.
Right.
I see Jehudi, uh, Mesut.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it. Oh, okay. So is that it in Shanu? Jehudi, Mesut, Mary Usir.
Mm-hmm. And we have the Sarah. So
Oh
Sarah.
yeah, Sarah. Sorry, Sarah, Jehudi, Mesut, Mary Usir.
Okay, so we had a Sarah name. Now this is the name that most of us will be familiar with, because of what early Egyptologists did. They basically identified the kings with their Sarah name as opposed to their throne name, which is this one.
So would this be Tutmos the third?
Well, it'd be one of the Thutmose kings, and we would know which one by identifying Menkaperu Ra. Um,
I think it is the third though.
okay. But that's how you would cross check. You would cross check, so it's definitely one of the Thutmose. But as far as first, second, third, or even fourth, you could cross reference with the Menkaperu Ra. All right, that was good. That was pretty quick, straightforward. Let's go to the next one. Now this picture is small, so I'm gonna try to blow it up. Hopefully it doesn't get blurred too bad. All right, you should be able to still see that. So now, this should be pretty easy. So somebody from the chat, give this one a go. And I'm gonna try to follow the chat. Matter of fact, um, oh, Shazmu's right on it. All right. You know what? Now I was gonna call your name, Shazmu. All right, good, excellent, Iker. The word excellent is Iker. People may pronounce it a little different, but it's Iker, means excellent. Nefer, good, excellent, excellent. But everybody, It's getting that all set, all set, all set. Good. All right, it's pretty fairly easy. So we had the Jed Medu in. You can't see the Medu too well, but it's Jed Medu in. Then we have the name all set. And here it is again with the snake determinative. All right, and we have Woret Mut Netcher, which will be the great or elder um, mother of the gods, and then it's broken off. You can't see the rest. All right, so that was pretty easy. Let's go to the next one. Haha. All right, so let's see if we can identify who we are dealing with. I'm not gonna give any hints. Let's just see. What do you say? Let somebody in the chat do this one. Yeah, let's get people in the chat have first dibs on it. Okay. All right. All right. That's good. People are on it. That's good. See, that's what I'm talking about. All right. So, brother Sean called it out first. Ma'at. All right. Excellent. And Shezmu, Nefret, and Ma'at. All right. Let me go back to this picture. Okay. All right. That's excellent. Excellent though, because you identify both figures, and so Shezmu, you saw the Nefer symbol here with the phonetic complements, and then the T. So we have Neferet. Um,
What about the one on the far left, the far left? Let's see how good the chat really is. You could barely see him, but he like cut off real bad. He got an unk in his hand on the far left.
oh,
See if anybody can guess who that is without seeing no glyphs. It's half his face. 30 seconds. You close, Shezmu. You got the first part right. Okay. Somebody got it right. What's that? Menace Meech?
all right. All right. So excellent. So I'm gonna go on to the next one then. Okay. Let me zoom in. Hmm. All right. So let's start by identifying this figure here. Look like they have on what we see in the movie Spartan or those gladiator movies. That's what some people try to identify this headdress as. But let's see if we can identify, see who can identify. Is that good enough? Let me zoom in some. All right. See if we can identify who this figure is. And no, it's not Spartan. Sparta. All right, so let's see. All right, Brother Shezmu had first guess at it at Amun, and I would say no, that's not correct.
And you gotta look at the glyphs. Who's speaking?
You know what? And I'm thinking, see, when people watch this in the archives, they're not going to be able to see the chat. So I know it's going to be really weird for people watching the archive. We're talking to people that's not going to be there. But for those who are watching this in the archives, who will be watching this in the archive after we're done, just keep that in mind. You know we're doing it interactively in the chat, and unfortunately, it's not going to be in the video. But on your own, just do your best. Just follow along and see if you can identify it as we're doing it, as you're hearing us do it, then go for it. All right, so let's see who has it first. Menace Meech, to you. Yes, Iker. That is Anukis or Anuket. Yep. All right. Excellent. Jehudi, Sean. Um, everybody has it. So Shazmu. See?
YouTube.
Shazmu going down this list. Well, I think Shazmu got a whole list of about 50 different Netcherew. He just going
Man,
in,
Smooth got a cheat sheet.
checking them off. Okay, like, okay, I know it's a female. Let me see. Let me start with Nut. Let me start with.
Meat.
He's a gambler. I don't know.
But all right, Shazmu. But yeah, Shazmu, you had Nut, but no, it's Anukis. And let me just do my cursor so you can see the name Jedmedu-N, and then you have the name here.
ANQ.
Yep. And the name is spelled translated or transliterated in various ways. You have Anukis, Anuk, uh, and then some others.
I'm gonna be honest. This is my first
Uh,
time seeing that deity. I ain't gonna lie. This is my
true,
first
true.
time. Yeah, I have never seen that. I mean, I seen the glyph, so I knew it was a female because of that snake. But I ain't never seen that one before.
Oh,
I
Oh
see.
yeah, I was gonna ask about the snake, as in was it a determinative or something like that. But yeah, you answered it.
yeah.
I seen the snake and I seen the nept and I see the pet at the bottom, so I knew we dealing with a female. I just never seen this one before. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, that's good that you brought that up. That you use context clues to figure out that it's a female, and so like when you see Nebet or Nebt, then you know it's dealing with a female, lordess or mistress. So so that's good to process it that way. Even if like you said, it's your first time seeing it, but okay, wait a minute, this is a female Netcherette, but man, I haven't seen this before. So, but you still have your clues. So that's excellent. That's good. All right, and let's see on this side. Now, this side is hard to see, so I'm not even gonna. Well, let's see if I can zoom in.
I think that's I know June know who that is. I don't know, his mic not be working.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's see if anybody can guess. Who is that on the left? It's kind of hard to see, but be able to see it.
Yeah, that's an easy one. Yeah. I know it's probably gonna be kind of gonna be mixed up with the headdress, but look inside the Shinu. I guess it's easy because we done her before about many times. We actually was doing her tune.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. There you go. Jehuti Ma'at. Excellent. That's Neferet Iri, and most people see it as yeah. And Sean, you see Mother as well. Yep. Most people will know her as Nefertari, but Neferet Iri, Moretni Mut, which is beloved of Mut. All right. Excellent. So that's good. All right. Let me zoom back out, and let's go to the other side. I forgot about this side. All right. So let's see. Let's see what we're working with here. Let me zoom back in. All right. Let's start off with this figure on the left, right here. Yeah, I'm gonna give somebody in chat a chance. I know somebody's gonna be real quick with it.
Mm-hmm. That's
Yep.
it. Too.
All right, excellent. Shazmu, all right. All right, Shazmu. All right, excellent. Called it out. That. All right, tell you what, Shazmu, since you got it so fast and so easy, which is excellent, but can you give me more of this? Let me use my cursor here. Can you tell me what this whole column is saying? This entire column is saying right here. Let's see if Shazmu can call that out. I'm sure he can. Yep, there you go. Words spoken by who? Oh, he said Zoom.
I hear you flipping them pages, Kofi.
Huh?
I hear you flipping them
You
pages.
hear me flipping that thing.
All right. Okay, Shazma, hoping you can see it because you pretty much said who it is. I just wanted you to, translate the whole column. Yep. All right. So yeah, that's good. So Jed Medu in uh Seti. It's actually Seti, the way that it's said, the way that it's depicted there. All right. You had the bread loaf, and you had the diagonal strokes here. Oh no, I take that back. Um, Apologize for that. We have Jed Medu in Set or Sutesh. He has a very variations of the way that the name is expressed in the language. But we have Jed Medu in Sutesh, and then we have uh, Nebti. All right, Nebti, which is of Gold Town, Gold Place. He's always known as Nebti, one of his epithets. All right, so let's go over to this figure in the middle. So Teb, it'll be unfair for you to do this one. So let's see if anybody in the chat can do the person in the middle. What are we working with in the middle? Anybody in the chat got that one? All right. Jesmu sees Amen. That is correct. That's a name that we see within the Shinu, but that's not who it is.
I do remember that honorific transposition too.
Mm-hmm. All right, Shazmu, you're there, but let's see what you got for the whole thing. And brother Withers, I see you have it as well, but slightly out of order because now names. I will say this: names are very tricky because one, they're highly abbreviated, and then you have a lot of graphic transposition and you have a lot of honorific transposition within the Shinu, the various different Shinu. So they are tricky. So it's something that's difficult um, to figure out. And basically, with the names, it's a matter of memorizing them. Once you get familiar with different Nisubiti,
Go where?
and
Where I went today. You going to the movie?
let's see, you can mute that. Okay. So, Ramessu Mary Amen. All right. Yeah. Excellent. All right. Shazmu. Excellent. Nice.
Yeah, Smooth got a cheat sheet, man. I'm convinced.
No,
I
Shazmu been
I think he's good. You know.
know. I'm giving him a
Not
hard time. I'm sure I'm gonna hear about it later.
yeah. Shazmu been on it. You know. I know when Shazmu get stuck on the deities, he just go down that list though. But no, he's been on it, so that's good. All right, so let's move on over. Let's move on over to this figure here. This should be pretty easy. On the left, I mean on the right. This figure here. I'm gonna start calling on people. Let me see who we have in here. I think I should start calling on people here. All right, Shazmu's on it. Heru. All right, Shazmu, I'm gonna have to put you on timeout because I think you hogging all the answers. Judy Mott, that's good, excellent. Jed Medu, but you forgot in. We have Jed Medu in Heru. Yep, but that's good. All right. So as you all can see now that even though this is kind of fun and everything, well, not kind of fun, it's fun for some of us, and we're identifying the different Netcherew, but also it it it's letting you know that there's a way to identify. No longer do we have to just look at the pictures and just guess. You could just read the actual glyphs and you'll know exactly who is talking, who is interacting within these different scenes. So we know who the king is. We know this is Ramesses Meriamun, as one of the Ramesses, and then we see the other two that are interacting. So we have Satuk or Sutesh and Heru both interacting with this king. All right. But this particular one is kind of easy because it's pretty common, to pair, to know the difference between Set and Heru, the various different stories between the two. All right. So let's move on to the next. Um, go to the next picture. All right, now there's a lot going on in this picture, so let's see if we can even let's see if we could pick out. Let's see. Hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot going on in here.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, and this one, the arrangement of this one, we don't see a name directly right next to the different figures, and so we had to get down into the actual glyphs to actually see what's going on because it's going to tell us what's going on here and let us know who we're dealing with. Does anybody want to try and see? I see a couple of names, but like I said, the arrangement of this particular scene, because it's cut off and it's cropped, it's the names that I'm seeing may not coincide with these figures and maybe other figures in the scene that are cut off. Like for example, over here on the far right, we have Jed Medu in, then we have Newt.
See Newt. See. Let's start it off. See Seer. I see Amin, I think. Yeah, this one's tough.
Yeah, it's cluttered. I'm trying to look. See, I see a set where it's spoken by a set on the left hand side. Word Netta.
Yep, all set.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, you said Wusil. Yeah, I see Wusil over there.
I think that's the end of that though.
He's in both of them. Wusil is at the top of the small lit piece. On the left hand side behind the green alien.
There was yeah.
Mm,
So now what we can get from this, okay, like we already identified some names that we see, but now that's not necessarily the figures that we're looking at, but
mm,
we see all set. But I just want to point out here, notice that this figure here is a female figure and she is standing within the sign, the hieroglyph or the Seshew sign, the teat, the image of the two hills.
Would
So
that be
I'm sorry, go ahead.
now? If she's standing between those two hills, would that be a cat that she's standing on? Like she's standing in the middle of the two hills?
No, it would be um, now, just being a little familiar with the various different texts, you see that there's a mountain here and there's a sycamore tree or whatever. And if you are familiar with the other various different Netcherew, you have Heru is also known as the Lady of the Sycamore, and she's the Lady of the West, and she, a lot of times you'll see a cow's head protruding out of the mountainside next to this tree or next to this bush or this tree here. All right, so though that's just from being familiar with the same scene in other different papyri or other scenes, because this is definitely in stone on this one. But oh, wait a minute, I went back. Sorry about that. And being familiar, so sometimes this picture is cropped, so it's not enough text to actually identify everything going on because it's a continuation. There's some other things going on that's around it. But we see a ba, and we see the ba bird here. Um,
Like she pouring libation to that.
yeah,
So that's I said.
no.
Oh,
It's usually, like I said, it's usually a cow coming out of the mountain, Lady of the Sycamore, Lady of the West, Lady of the Mountain. Usually near the entrance to the tomb, and this mirror or this pyramid would be the tomb. So this most likely has the name of the particular person over
So
here.
this is so that's not the same person that they show with the tree of life. Is that the same? Is that the same Netcher? Because I mean, I'm asking because I know you saying that what's the name of that tree again right there? The because I done seen that in a couple of texts. What's the name of the tree? The Figmore. What is the tree called?
The
sycamore.
sycamore tree.
Yeah, sycamore tree. I done seen that in a couple of I think in the pyramid text. But and I also done seen it on something I was looking at. Well, it was the tree of life. It was the woman coming up out of it. But I think the one I seen, she was kneeling down um, on the glyph. I'm not, and I'm trying to remember what was the woman. Is that the same? Is that the same person?
Well, I would have to see the picture you're talking about,
Okay.
but most most likely, I mean, this scene is pretty universal, but you'll see it swapped out with the cow, with the minette around the neck, with the ankh hanging from the neck, protruding out from the mountain, protruding out from the tree, near the tomb. In fact, I believe it's even in the Peret Imheru of Ani, the last, I believe it's the last plate.
And you think that's her name right there? Is that her name? Like you see where a dude holding his hand out, and you see Amen, and then you got like that little line right there, and then you got another line. Is it in that bird? Go
Pa,
over.
pa,
Go,
that's pa.
go over. One more line.
Over here?
Right there. Is that her name right there?
That's pa right there.
I think that's part of his name.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah, but that's pa right there, Saber. P-A-R.
Well, he said the name is in that pyramid, and I see the bottom glyphs in that pyramid is the same glyphs right there.
Yeah, this is the person. The person sitting here is his name is here because you have Makeru right after, and then right here you have Makeru. So the name is the same over here
Okay.
as you see over here.
So what is that name? That's Par, right? That's Par right there, right?
Yeah, Power,
Mm-hmm.
Sheffy, something like that.
So where is her name at in there then? I don't see it.
I think that's Newt. I think she also the goddess of the sycamore trees.
Well, we know
Yeah.
this is Newt, and then we have over here we have the name Newt is here. We identify it first, and then over here obviously some other things going on that's cut off.
Yeah, cause I was wondering because you have Newt, you have also Nasset and all that. They probably bear the name too, but like you say, I don't know. We have to look at what she's standing on, which is probably separate from the rest of the other goddesses or feminine divinities that have the same title.
So June, what'd you say? So you saying it's Newt?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
All right. So we'll put a question mark on this figure, but we identify this person and the ba, and then we can see the names, some names that in. We definitely see Newt as a name. And matter of fact, I haven't checked the chat. Anybody else? Somebody's probably got it already. Het Heru, Shesmu said Het Heru, Jehudi said Hathor, um, Brother Withers. I don't see what he said. All right. So we're gonna come back to this one because, like I said, Freestyle Friday, we're gonna find out. We just, without using any tools or anything, we'll come back. All right, so let's go to this one. I got one more or two more after this. All right, so this one should be pretty easy.
Yeah, that's happy. That's easy.
Hey, he just blurted out. Dang.
That's easy right there. Well, I want to get back. I want to figure out who that other one was. I want to figure out who that last one was.
All right, well, while you're at it, Satep, so this is happy. All right, so this is happy. So happy is enthroned. So we see Jed Medu in happy, and then this is a
Move, ain't it?
of his name.
Oh, okay, that's all a part of his name right there.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
all
that's that water.
Yeah, I know that's the three water ripples and the canal.
Uh-huh. So we might as well keep going. So we see. Oh, wait a minute. It jumped. Okay, here we go. So we see it says Eat Netcherew, which is the father of the gods, and then can't really make out what's going on over here, but we see father of the gods. So we have Jed Medu in happy, father of the gods, or Netcherew, and I'm not gonna try to read the over there. But all right, so what king is this though?
Let's see. You have the first Shanu. You have Usur Ma Mariaman. You have Rames Su Heka Enu.
All right, so I know you know who that is.
Yep.
All right, so there we go, and we see that he's in the position of what? What is his stance indicative of?
Praise.
He prays and giving thanks.
Yep, dua. That's the position of praise or dua. All right, so that was quick and it's easy. So next one, let's give somebody in the chat a chance to identify these here. All right. So let us identify this person right here, the person that is enthroned, the only one that's seated. All right, let's see who can get that. All right, we'll see. And Shesman probably had to ignore yours because Shesman's been kind of quick tonight. But that's good. That's excellent though. Yep. So Shesman, I guess you've been studying. That's good. And I recommend people to study. If you're learning the language and you know whatever your motivation is for learning it, spend like a half an hour doing exactly this. Once you start to memorize the monoliterals, which are those signs that represent single consonants, you have to memorize that at the very least. Memorize that, and then as you're learning, though, spend some time doing this, just looking at different pictures, trying to identify glyphs from your memory, and then refer to the book when you have to, and just start doing that as an exercise. And before you know it, you'll start to recognize patterns, because the whole key is to start recognizing patterns, because that's how we learn English, you know. And then we take it for granted, but if you look at an English sentence, if it wasn't for those spaces, or I should say even without the spaces in between English words, we would still be able to read it, because our minds pick up on patterns. And it's just over time we these patterns get burnt into our psyche, and we're able to just recognize words. The same thing will happen with these glyphs. So one of the key things is to look for patterns. Look for patterns. All right, and it takes time. All right, so let's see who had it. He said zoom in. Oh, that's not enough. Let's see. Thought it was zoomed in enough. Okay, well, Shazmu, I think some few people done beat you to it. So Jehudi Mat, yep, that's Atum. All right, it's the same. You see the same glyphs that we had in the earlier picture.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's the same sequence.
Yep. All right, so what about the figure behind Atum on the right? Let's see who can guess that. And I know there's a delay between what I'm saying. All right, Brother Strife 777 says happy, but I'm not sure if you're still talking about the previous picture or this one. All right, Brother Withers kind of beat everybody to it. He named somebody that's not even in the picture. Well, you can see the glyphs, so that's good. All right, so that's good. So we have Atum, and then we have Shu, and we have Tefnut. All right, it's interesting that now I don't know how faded these pigmentations are, so I can't, we can't really speak um, definitively on this, but you can see you definitely see different colorations. So we have blue, green, and we have this brown red hue for Atum. That's just interesting. But we have Atum, Shu, Tefnut. And notice that we don't have the snake here for Tefnut this time.
Yeah, and I see I think there was Strife and Jehuti. He said happy, then the other one said my eye. I know that Jehuti looked at the feather, but that's why they got to look at the sign. So I mean that's not most of the time if you see that you could think that was my eye, but when you look into the sign you will see that exactly who that is. I mean you see the feather and then you see the quail chick. So you know that wouldn't be my eye. You knew that wasn't be my eye because you now see the sickle sign or the platform or the bread loaf at the bottom. So you know that wouldn't be my eye. So look in front of them. Just because you see the feather on top is not always going to be my eye.
And if you look at the deity, it ain't got no breast on it, and the one behind it do. That's another sign right there.
Mm-hmm. Plus, if you look at the figure with if you look at Shu, and you know the Netchers, Shu is masculine, and you'll see the beard at the bottom right there. You'll see his beard at the bottom right there, so you know that's a man and not a woman.
All right. Yeah, those are good points to point out. So those are context clues. So like you have the Shindit, which is the apron, which is a giveaway that it's a male or masculine. With the exception of Hatshepsut, being depicted at times. but we have the false beard or the beard, and then we have the shindy. So those are kind of clues that you will know that this is a masculine figure. And then we see the icon iconographic dress that a lot of the female Netcherut or even queens or whatever wear. And like you said, the breast and everything giveaway. All right, so that was good. I don't see. Yeah, that's the end of that picture. Okay, so let's go to the last picture. Oh, got a couple more pictures. Oh, a couple more. All right, didn't know that. All right, let's jump through this because I don't want to, don't want to be too long. All right, so let's see what we can identify. I'm gonna definitely have to zoom in on this. So let's see where could I? All right, let's deal with the figure in the middle. Well, that's kind of easy. Um, hmm. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do this. All right, yeah, that's no problem. All right, let's zoom in. I'm gonna zoom in. We're gonna deal with this figure here. Now I know it may be a little hard, but let's see who can figure this one out. All right, let's see if we can figure this out. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you if you wear glasses, you're definitely gonna need it.
Yeah, 'cause I'm finna grab mine and put mine on right now 'cause I can't hardly see.
See the quality of the picture. If I zoom in too much, it'll just blur it out. So hopefully people can see it right now. Okay, Shazmu, is that a stab at it? You say her Imra? Her Imra.
And what we looking at? We looking at where the Jed Meadow formula is on the right in the middle.
Well, I'm not gonna say. I'm just trying to identify who it is. However you need to do it.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm looking at. Looking right there where the formula is telling who it is.
All right, so I see some guesses with Kepper, and that's not correct.
If I knew what that glyph was right in front of that reed leaf, I might be able to take a stab at it.
That's the
Go ahead and
I
go
think
ahead.
it's called the pestle for
Yep.
tea.
Okay, so go ahead, June. What you got?
I got was Jed Medu in, and then the first one is that half that's transliterated M, and then we have the doorbolt transliterated S or Z. The pestle, like I said, transliterated TI with the phonetic complement reed leaf at the end. So M Seti,
Yep.
Jed
Exactly.
Medu in M
Got
Seti.
it.
How
Got it.
did he see that? Doc? I still don't understand. I got glasses on, and I
I seen
cannot.
the M set. I
I
seen
can't.
the M set. I just didn't know what that other
Yeah,
symbol
yeah,
was.
that's what I'm saying.
Right.
I see the M. I see the MS, and then I see the reed leaf and the seated deity. But in front of that, I got glasses on. I cannot still. He's circling. I still can't.
I think he
That don't
just
even look
added
like a pedestal to me.
I see it now because I see it a little bit hanging over.
Mm,
It's got that little bit hanging over.
dang.
I see it now.
But see, this is why.
Right, but I think you don't. I think he kind of just put it together once you got the other signs, which we should have done. You know,
Yeah, and that's exactly
it,
what I was gonna say.
Right.
This is the beauty of doing this because not everything's gonna be clear. We're dealing with 3,000 plus year old artifacts and things, so it's gonna be chipped away and damaged. So we have to use context clues. And so doing these exercises, signs could be missing, chipped off or whatever, you can't see it. So, it's just recalling your familiarity with the different Netcherew, So now whenever M is shows up, you can count on maybe three others,
These other brothers.
or whatever. So
Hmm.
give a little. clue for that. So let's move on over to the next figure here in the middle. All right, so what are we working with right here in the middle?
Yeah, they already know who that is.
Yeah, that should be pretty easy.
Mm-hmm.
Stripe 777 said, June, you got that Heru vision right there. You got that Hawk vision. The Hawk vision. All right, so this middle figure. I know people going to definitely jump on this real quick.
Yeah, we just got through doing that one a couple of glyphs ago.
So somebody in the chat, if you can give me who it is, but not just who it is, but the entire first line. That line where you see is the name. Oh, Menace Meach. Yeah, Shu has the feather. Actually, it's the shoe feather. And, you know, we gotta like kind of reprogram our mind. It's the shoe feather. Mott has the shoe feather. Shu doesn't have the Mott feather. Mott has a shoe feather because the feather itself is called Shu. You know, just to let you know, the feather itself is called Shu. Okay, so all right, good. All right, so we got Shazmu and Lisa both said who it is, but what does that first column say? What does that column say together? Can anybody give me that? Shazmu, what you got? What you working with? All right, words spoken by. See, I think Shazmu got these phrases on speed dial. Words spoken by. He can't make out after. All right, no problem. Okay, so yeah, because I don't want to drag this on too long. So we have Jedmedu in Enpu and then Kinti. All right. He's also known as Kinti. You'll see an epithet of him as Kinti, and we'll see it as Kinti. Kinti, I meant to you. But Anpu would be Kinti. He'll be foremost of the embalming place, which would be the next set of glyphs here. But you know, like I said, we won't dwell on it. But that's who it is. That's correct, Anpu. All right, so let's go on to the next one over here. Who can give me this one?
You asking the chat or you asking us?
But that's
Well, we could do the last one, but let's see who in the chat.
Okay.
that's easy. He didn't get. They ought to be able to get these because you just gave him a hint, and then I gave him a hint.
Mm-hmm.
Then that they remember Damo kind of talked about him a little bit last week.
What, this one we on now?
He kind of talked about the names of the names of the
Mm-hmm.
those individuals.
Hold it, Kofi, hold it.
Kofi. All right, there you go, Sean. Boy, Shazmu has me cracking up. Shazmu says star MF. Oh boy, that's good. But but
what's the star symbol mean?
Right, Shazmu.
They all put all the answers together, and y'all had a name.
Sean is real close.
What Sean say? Oh, okay. Who's that?
Matter of fact, Sean and Shazmu, if you combine what you're saying,
Yep.
then you'll have it. All right, there it is.
There you go, Jehudi got it.
Yep, Jehudi Ma Dua Mutef. Exactly. Dua Mutef.
Neck.
Jehudi went and pulled out a book. That's what he went and did. He went and pulled out one of the books.
Jehudi got it, man. Jehudi got it.
All right, so we got Duamatef. All right, and the last one. Anybody on the panel?
Spoken by Duamutef. I am your son. They going in on that text. We might have to read that.
Yeah, we get a nice, good, clear shot. All right, so let's anybody on the panel. Who's the last one?
On the panel,
Yeah, yep.
let's see. Jed Medu and Peru.
Sure.
Let's see. Oh, you can't zoom in no more. Jed Medu and I can't see that. It look like a bird right there.
Now you don't now you don't held back Kofi because he gave so many hints. So you if we
Oh, okay, my bad. That's the other son.
right.
That's the other son. It's Happy.
Okay, there you go. All right. All right, so let me zoom back. Regular and last picture. Well, we can quickly fly through this one.
Oh, they didn't give but 3 of the brothers that time though, huh? Cause they didn't give Kobesanu.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah, I didn't. We got Met. What? How you say his name?
Massetti.
M. And we got Dumutef, and then we got Happy. We missing Corbesanouf.
He might be on that other side of that. He might be on that other corner. You know what I'm saying? Like once they hit that corner, he might be right over there.
Mm-hmm.
He just ain't got that side of it.
Excuse me.
All right, so we can fly through this one. Let's see if anybody in the chat can pick up on this one. This is a nice picture. This is a popular picture. You see this pretty much
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's real popular.
I mean, but in the meantime, well, I don't want to scroll down, but you could check out the attire, the wear of the king. This is very elaborate. But let's see. Okay.
That's a nice picture.
Menes Meech has Heru by the headdress. Now, okay, remember this, Menes Meech, that you definitely can. Now she is there's several different deities that wear the solar horn crown, or headdress. So you definitely won't be able to do that at all times to be able to guess like that. So definitely have to look at the glyphs, the sesh.
Right. I mean, yeah, you have to look at the fish.
And that's purpose of the exercise.
Foremost of the Westerners.
But that's correct though, Menes Mish, that's correct. It is Heru, and we noticed this because of the glyph. We have the Heru or her inside the enclosure, which would be Hut,
Mm-hmm.
her, Hut Heru. They say Hathor. And then we have
Her Tepi. That's what that her Tepi. What's it?
Heretep Waset,
Yeah.
which is the chiefess, or who's in charge. This is like an idiom
Mm-hmm.
for who's in charge of Waset, the West, or Waset, the city. All
Yeah.
right. And we're gonna go on to, well, let's quickly identify who this figure is on the right. So Teb, you got that. I'm sure you got that.
Yeah, I got it, but I'm gonna let somebody else get it. Go ahead, John.
Nah, Shesmu been in the chat. He done listed. He got Min Ma'atra, and then what do you get on the other one?
That
Pata
other one
Min.
said,
Man, Ma'at Ra. Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm. That's right.
I think he got Pata. Let's see, who's that?
That's Jehuti. No, they got the same thing. Ain't nobody put nothing in for the next Shinu.
Shesmu showing off now. All right. Now this is a tricky one. Like I said, the names, they are tricky. Can't get around that. They're tricky because they're highly abbreviated. They have graphic transposition going on. Graphic transposition is an aesthetics thing, and then we have honorific transposition that goes on a lot in the names. So we have Min Ma'at Ra, but what is the Sa Ra name? So you have Nisud BT Min Ma'at Ra.
Who's that in the Sarah name?
Oh,
What
you ain't
deity
telling
is that?
me.
Then we have Sa Ra.
Yeah, that's Seti, Mary, and Ptah.
Yep.
Mm.
So we have Seti Murni Ptah. So Seti, beloved of Ptah, who is loved by Ptah. So Jehudi, that was good. You just had the meridian in, switch those out, and that was straight. That's good. So that's good. Excellent. All right, let's go on to the last one. This last picture. And voila. All right. So we have 3 people to identify. So we're gonna start with this left figure right here. So we haven't heard from Tonica. So Tonica, who's this on the left?
So on the left,
Mm-hmm.
that's Netcherew.
All right. To you. Excellent. All right. And I can't even see who's on the panel. Who's on the panel? We're gonna fly through this. All right. Oh, Damo. I'm not sure if Damo's mic is straight. Okay, but June, if you see my cursor, who are we dealing with right here?
No, I can't see your cursor.
Oh, let's see. How can I describe it?
I can see it if you want me to get it.
Okay, yeah, right here. Who are we dealing with?
Words spoken by Amun Ra.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Well, Kofi.
I say, hey, Kofi would be cold in Spanish, boy. You know how to roll. It's tough.
Kofi is like, we have Jed Medu Amen Ra. All right, but that's perfect. All right, so we have Amun Ra. That's who's enthroned. All right, and Satep, who we have inside of this Shinu.
The Queen, Ma'at.
Exactly.
She was the king.
I know, but I'm not gonna say that though. Well, he establishing her crown right here, but we just gonna say she a queen. We not gonna call her a king. But that's basically what he doing right now is giving her the crown of king in this scene.
Yep, she's getting her coronations. They refer to as the coronation scene.
Yeah, the coronation.
All right, so and she's AKA or better known as Hatshepsut. All right, so we have Netcherew and Amun Ra, along with Hatshepsut or Ma'at Ra. And that's it. That's the last picture I have. So let me stop sharing that. All right, and I hope, yeah, I hope that was fun for everybody that's watching. You know, this is a kind of nerdy exercise. See, only us nerds will enjoy this on a Friday night. You know, we're Friday and we're dealing with glyphs and stuff like that. Like, who does that? You know, the Seshew Mighty Metal Netcher does. Exactly. So hope everybody had fun. But hey, it's really good to see people picking up on it. Shezmu, definitely shout out. Cause I remember Shezmu couldn't read anything. You know what I mean? So this is good. You know, well, all of us. I mean, all of us. We couldn't read it. There's a point where we couldn't read it. Now we learned it. Now we can read it. So it's something that we all cultivate and get used to. But it's just good to see it, and it happens so fast. So that's good. But keep it up. And I recommend anybody who's learning to spend at least in half an hour every day, or whatever time you can, but at least in half an hour a day by doing this. But there's some things that you should learn first. So don't just jump into doing this, but at least after you have some of the basics under your belt, then always continue to practice, because when you snooze, you lose. When you don't use it, you'll lose it, because this is not a language that we speak day to day. This is not a script, a writing system that we use day to day either. So, you could. That's how come I believe Satep said he was rusty, because sometimes when you gotta handle business and you don't put in the time, you come back, you're like, oh man, I feel a little rusty, but as soon as you start doing it, it'll come right back to you, snap right back.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all brought me back tonight, man. I was just thinking that, man. Y'all brought me back tonight, for real.
Yeah,
Y'all brought me back, cause I have been slipping the past month and a half. I ain't been reading nothing. I ain't gonna lie, I'm putting it on air. I ain't been reading nothing. But y'all definitely brought me back tonight, though.
yeah. Well, that's a part of it. That's how you do that. So, and a lot of us will go through that, because we got lives, we got children, we got so we can't spend time doing this all the time. But I do recommend people to try to at least etch out 30 minutes, 30 minutes a day. And it depends on what's motivating different people to learn the language in the first place. But 30 minutes a day, or maybe every other day, but put some time in. But remember, the key is to recognize patterns, 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 patterns. All right, because when we first look at this, we just see the signs. And I'm gonna say this, you know, there's a lot of people, the people that have the opinion of the Seshew Netcher not being deciphered and things like that. One of the main problems that people with that opinion have is for some reason, they look at these symbols and signs, and because these symbols or signs are recognizable, they're actual objects that we recognize in our surroundings, in nature. They're either birds or some kind of tools. They're either man-made things or they're natural things in nature. And because of that, it's hard for some people to wrap their mind around that these signs can represent sounds, phonograms as we call them. So that's where the major problem is with people that will say things like, well, how does a vulture, how does a bird turn into an A, to letter A, or things like that. And that's only because it's just that we recognize these signs, like the letter A, or the English alphabet A through Z. None of the characters represent anything that's in our tangible environment. Unless somebody say the capital A looks like a A-frame ladder, so maybe a construction worker will say, okay, yeah, it looks like an A-frame ladder, or we could really really reach and try to make something out of the characters, but they don't generally match up with anything in our environment. So we look at it just as characters, and we notice the alphabet, and it stands for different sounds. But when it comes to the Seshew Netcher, because they are pictures of things, we don't make that connection, or some people don't make that connection. So I just want to put that out there, that we take it for granted, but it's the same. Seshew Netcher is used for sounds, it's used for ideas, it's used for entire words, and then it's used to give the semantic meaning or the sense of the word, which means it gives us clues on what the word means. All right, so those are the ways that the signs are used. But the key is, I'm gonna say it again, is patterns, because when we first deal with the signs, we're looking at each individual sign, and our mind is like captivated by the signs, and we're looking at each individual sign. But then as you put into practice, like I'm suggesting, a half hour a day or every other day, then you're going to start seeing, you'll recognize patterns, and you'll see whole words as opposed to single signs. All right, so that's my recommendation. And you'll see that you'll speed things up and you'll learn it a lot faster. So we've been on for about 2 hours, or a little over 2 hours now. So anybody have any comments on the panel? Any statements, comments, questions, discussions, anything? How about that?
Not really. No, not really. But I think somebody had a question before, but I don't know if it was related. But I think Strife had a question. I don't know if he wants to type it. Again, something to do with SETI or something. But he can type it if it's still there. And somebody else is asking about the class, I think. on the
Okay.
chat.
Oh, okay, Jehudi. I don't know if he's being yeah, sarcastic, but yeah, how are you gonna make a word out of an idea graph? Yeah, right. These are, like I said, these are things that people have to really just put their mind around, wrap their mind around. These signs can be used in one of three ways for any given word, and they're used either as a phonogram, which is a sound, or as an ideogram slash logogram, or as a determinative. But see, it's even more simpler than that. Just remember, this is for anybody. The writing system has two principles that are at play. Two principles. That's all you have to remember. So again, the writing system has two principles that are at play. Principle one is that the signs can serve as sounds. Principle two is that the signs can serve as sense signs, which means that they have meaning and not sound, not for the sound. That's it. But out of those two, you have the sound signs are called phonograms, and then the sense signs are either ideograms or logograms, or what's being called determinatives, which are really classifiers. It actually classifies concrete nouns into different categories to know what we're talking about. So it helps determine the meaning of these words. So that's why they refer to as determinatives. But that's it. Once people get that, then we'll be able to move forward and eliminate those who feel that the language is not deciphered. Now, see, there's people who believe that, but me, every time I hear a person that believes that try to explain why they believe it, it's always based on the things I just said, the lack of knowledge on those things I just said, how signs can be used as phonograms, as sounds, or sense signs. All right. So, well, with that said, you said Strife had a. Oh, I was just reading on the Upper Egyptian origins of SETI. Okay, all right. So no question. All right. Well, um, if nobody on the panel has anything to say, Sonette, Tonica, you can close us out.
All right. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you to the people in the chat for participating and everybody else on the panel. And yeah, tune in next Wednesday. And with that, I will say get an effort and share my motive.
Luke Amin Rasta. Luke never Netcher. Luke Pa Neta A Neta Ua Asharing.
Icebreakers, baby.
Amen.
Baby.
I am Amen. Ra. Kata. Neta I am Amen. Ra. Kata. Neta I am Amen.